Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move into round two. Well, it's really hard to say. Game 2 of round 1. There you go, that's probably the best way to phrase it. I am Lee Man Smith, and joining me is Rich Sims, aka The Sims. You all know him, he's covered PUBG many, many times. Rich, we're into Group 7 for this one in North America.
We are indeed, and one team in particular that's kind of standing out here. There's there are plenty of North American teams out there. Certainly need to do a little bit more reading into them compared to the European side, but I know one team that kind of stands out for me in this group in particular is Knights. And when we look at that roster, that's going to be Drayden, Slim Carry, Voxic, and Survivor. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on those guys, watching them on the radar and see how things go. I'm actually seeing a Dren in here as well. That's a name that I have seen as well, so I kind of need to...
Dren is a CSGO player, yes. As it was.
Keep an eye on that one and see how that one goes.
I guess he still is. He actually did, I saw him tweeting earlier, actually. A very good CSGO player at that, and a very tactical man, so maybe he's going to be... He used to be the in-game leader, actually, in CSGO, so I'm probably assuming he's doing similar role in this. Now, Knights actually finished 3rd, didn't they? In the first round. It was actually Scope that managed to get the first place, so we'll keep our eye out on them as well. So here we go, Rich. We are having a straight-up swing right over the top of Yasnaya.
Yeah, coming in from the east side, straight over Yaz, and more than likely ending around the Gatka area. Rolls is going to be there. We'll see where a few people move off. Lipovka, more than likely. Someone may go and look for a car and either work their way down south or go up north, potentially to Severny and Zaki. Several teams now bailing out. Rolsock is there. They're actually going to move up. It looks like they're going to be going to Severny or looking for a vehicle. One team moves down, potentially into Pachinki. All the rest of them evenly spread, moving towards that east coast. Again, we mentioned Lipovka. 1-2 teams splitting up and going down to around the Milta and Farm area. Again, if one of them gets a vehicle, look for them to be potentially moving down to the Novo area. And then finally, all the final people are kicked out. We see 2 teams moving up to Georgopol, potentially Georgopol Heights, or somewhere even in the hospital maybe. Meanwhile, the last remaining 2 squads, we'll see where these drop. If both of them are going to be long flying down to promote, they potentially could be meeting each other quite early.
So Knights doing a similar drop to what G2 did, aren't they? Single separations, 1 in mansion, 1 in prison, 2 to secure a vehicle in Lipovka, probably secure a second vehicle down there as well, maybe, and see where they go. It looks like there's a squad going shelter, so Adren has to be careful because they're probably going to sweep through shelter and then straight into prison, I would assume. There was a second team that dropped there. Looks like they wanted to go to shelter as well, but instead they secured a vehicle and they're getting the hell out of there. There's already shots going on in Georgopol.
Keep an eye on that one then, as
it's the roof of hospital,
cracking off from hospital. Yes, they're trying to take a couple of pop shots at the people down in Georgetown. Circle comes in, the initial one has just popped, and it's going to be in a bit of a central northerly direction, bang on across. Roshawk, Severny's in there, so is Pachinki, Yasnaya, and George. They're all there, so everyone can kind of keep on looting. More than likely, unless this roster down in the south area that's moving towards just right of the ferry pier, potentially they may look for a vehicle and go and loot Millet and then come back later on in the game. If not, they'll carry on just looting around Ferry Pier, unless this is what Detoxer on the right-hand bridge is going to be doing. Are they going to go and flush out Novo and head back? I'm sure we'll find out any minute now, but just to keep you guys up to date, in the previous one, it was Scope Gaming, which consisted of Binlong, Dash, Haybob, and Ridley. They got 7 kills and came first. Bottleneck in 3rd, that's Dude Kid, Selpin, Voltage, and Chromehounds. They got 11 kills between them. Also with 11 kills in 3rd place, it was Knights, Drayden, Slim Carry, Cloak, and... excuse me, that's completely the wrong team there. I'm actually looking at the wrong one. And several of them. 4, 5, 6, 7. Just moving through, looking at some more teams, see if we can actually pick up any further names on there. Actually, let me take a quick peek at that one.
I want to look at the guys. They are making the move. Okay, so they're going to go across towards prison now. As the shelter team is off towards prison. Charming Ultra Soft is looking like he's the lead man. Only got himself a Vector. And Adren's on his own at the moment.
Yeah, it's actually a different roster that I've got written down here, so apologies for that one on Knights. It is actually Slim, Cluxy, Dre, and Adren. I have a different roster completely written down, 2 of them at least anyway. So, and Adren needs to be careful because he's got 4 people just counted to his left-hand side, beating down upon him.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's Charming Ultra Soft. He's a big fan of the toilet paper, I guess. Hey, you know, it's smooth on the bum, but apparently. But Adren, does he have anything but this grenade? He's been running around with the grenade in his hand for a while. You got to hope he's been around the prison the entire time. So let's go have a spin over to Adren. Let's see what he's got. He actually doesn't. He only has a grenade.
He has a grenade.
He has the armor, level 2 armor and helmet, but just a grenade.
And dreams. He just has pure dreams.
Oh, there we go. He's not picking up the shotgun. He may want that in a minute. I think he just wants an AR. That's a little picky. And I'm not sure he can afford to be picky. Now, are they going to go... I think they're just going above. I don't think they're going to go in. Or are they going to flank around, check anyone's here, and then go in? No, they are. They're flanking. They're brought in the full flank. There's a full trap being set here. And Adren may well spring it.
2 players have just been... In fact, one of them has been knocked. I'm just trying to see exactly where that is across the map. It didn't actually flash up for me there. So we already lose 1. Bigger picture then. People are now inside Millie base. In fact, 2 teams have actually gone to Millie. We mentioned about getting the cars and going down south, looting, and then working their way back up. That's where the actual initial engagement happened. One of them has gone far back to ATC, and unfortunately 4 players found him. So he's dead, he's down. 3 of his teammates are going to be remaining spread out across the garages and the apartment blocks. So it all depends where, from the factory side, where these players decide to move off to. If they move into the apartment blocks, they could be in a world of pain. If not, they could just get back in the vehicle that they turned up with, which is...
Oh, and Adren's down. Did he seriously go through the entirety? Because he went through the warehouses first. I'm sure I watched him going through there. And not find a single rifle. But he's down on the roof. He's dead. There's nothing coming out of this. A lot of hashtag free Adrens in the chat. But I don't think he's going to get freed. I think he's dead.
Yeah, that's rather unfortunate. None of his teammates are near him whatsoever. Everyone's really split off, though. When you look at Knights, look at the dispersion. You got 1 person down in the little yellow compound, and then the other 2, Dre and Kluxy, just hanging over in Lipovka. And these teams actually, Lee, speaking of military base, are getting rather
Slim
close
coming to the rescue? It looks like he might be.
Time, surely.
No, he's been down. He's been finished off. The SKS, yeah, he's pulled away now.
Look at Millie, though. Millie Apartments is about to kick off. Okay, 2 of them in the apartments, bang on opposite them, inside the little police building.
Oh, that was where one of them died. Okay, so this is a 3-man squad, Fumble Buzz. So they know that there is another team in. That's Pan all the way out. So, actually 2 of them in the same building. They are separate squads, aren't they? No, they're not. Same squad. I'm being an idiot.
It's in the 2 building, in the 2 apartment blocks. There's one at the front.
Oh, Stony Boss across the side, yeah.
Actually, they breaching. All 4 of them are breaching straight into this apartment block here.
Yeah, they're all piling across. So they know that there's one in here because they've already killed one. So Dextover's going low. It's the 2nd floor that they want to get into, and
it's in the toilet.
Is Switchblade going straight in here? He is with shotgun.
Yep, he didn't realise the guy behind him though. He's focusing too much on that player. Doesn't spin around. S68 does its job. His teammates here to back him up. Kind of keep him alive. He's just hiding on in the toilet. Shotgun and M16. He's going for a grenade, though. He's actually going to throw this down the stairs. That's cracking. It's right in front of his face. His teammate's next to him as well. He'll actually take his teammate out, I think. He's going to get knocked as well. If he takes down 3, this would be a massacre.
Oh, I was on the reload. Why did he come out the door while he's reloading? Or was that just the animation? I don't know. I don't know.
The grenade. He cooked the grenade and it blew them. This is messy, man. This is super messy.
Well,
and all of a sudden, poor Stony Boss is just left in a 2-on-1 scenario.
But they took 2 down. I mean, that was a 2 for 2. That was a fair trade in the end. They lost one of their teammates early on. That is a really large scope to have here in the apartments. Not sure.
It was worth the fight, I suppose. I say it's worth the fight. They're all pretty much dead, so maybe it wasn't. He's just bailing. I was like, okay, I have a level 3. I also have, what has he got on his back? He's got an AKM and a 16. He's just going to bail out of here. You might as well. You need to get up to the north where the circle's going to be. Does he have any vehicles, though? As he moves out of military base, he does. So he has a bike, so he can just blaze if he needs to. Let's take a look further afield and see how things are going down, because Rosshawk, I'm seeing bullets cracking off there, potentially. Or at least one person was flashing. This is going to be Nubia's POV, level 3 helmet, level 2. Level 2 bag as well, M16. Do we have any attachments, my friend? See what you've got. I believe that could... I actually can't see what he's got because he's running too fast. He might just be iron sighting that bad boy. Still, early loot phase for everybody.
So...
Now we'll see.
I'm just looking at the Knights are moving. Cloaksy and Satray. Slim's already way over there by the bridge of Rozhok. There's the squad just outside of Rozhok. There's one single team in Rozhok, one at school apartments. Something we've seen a lot of people avoiding, actually, haven't we, over the last couple of games we've done today. Not really anyone going school or apartments. Primorsk guys have got themselves a vehicle so they can get out of there, no problem. And it looks like there's another squad moving into Gatka as they swing up towards. It looks like everybody's got vehicles, so everybody's going to be in a pretty safe state at the moment. The Severny guys are just continuing to hoover because the circle is there. There's shots from the garage to Rozhok. Bluff Rabbit just got down.
And all of a sudden, shots are going to come back here. That's going to be Kipper just up in one of those buildings. More than likely be the level 3 tower. Excuse me, the level 2. He hasn't gone up onto level 3 yet. He's looking outside the windows. And these are the buildings that... They're some of my favorite buildings, in fact, because you can just look down upon... If you have the sights, at least, anyway, and you have the weapons to do it, you can just look down upon Ros, down upon the little houses just behind Atlantis there. 2 players, 3 players make that, in fact. He can just kind of stand his ground. He's got his teammates with him. Now, all of a sudden, left bridge, right bridge will be both teams. It's going to be Stony Boss, who was left on his own, probably has that bike, and Switchblade Steve. Did lose 2 teammates himself, so both of those teams coming out of there. They'll have a bit of gear between them, but one of them's lost 3 members, one of them lost 2, so was it worth it? Yes or no? Fair enough, he's still alive, but you're scraping the barrel there because you're going to be running into some teams that are very geared up. The one team that they need to be aware about is... I am looking now. There's a little team of 4. Brutal John in the UAS. That's a full team of 4. They're pretty kitted up. I'm seeing level 2s. I'm seeing some scars. I'm seeing a couple of K98s in there. Where are they going to go? They're probably just going to go central circle. Because right now, between Ros and school is somewhere where you want to be. Park yourself in apartments. Park yourself down by Watertown, wherever you want to call it. Get center. Bring some vehicles with you, and then assess it from there. We do see a team, though, waiting in Severny. They'll probably just monitor this circle, see where it goes next, and then decide when it's time to move.
Switchblade Steve coming from Millie, as you mentioned. Actually, Stony Boss behind them now. Ironically, they've gone opposite bridges, and yet they're close together now again. He's probably getting in, really? He's actually coming up right behind him. He's tracking up behind him, yeah, okay. I mean, that'd be crazy. Well, we're just trying to take the 2v1 on. He's probably just realised, hang on a minute, there's only 2 there. Is that really the same squad I just faced a minute ago in military base?
He might want revenge for his fallen brothers.
Indeed, indeed. Sweet revenge. Okay, circle's about to come in. Where are we going next then? Oh, okay, so it's going to continue in Bang Central. It means the Georgia Bolt guys need to get moving. There's a couple of squads close together at Gatka. That is a whole squadron of vehicles on the move over there, and just the other guys that need to just push out the outside. Severny's still in. This looks like it might be the hills near Severny or something like that. It's just something in that horrible open area, so it could make for entertainment with anyone that's got a decent rifle.
Yeah, it could kind of shift, as you mentioned, towards the more northerly area, so you go across the bridge, across the little river, and into kind of the no man's land, the Badlands, where there's a lot of hills, a lot of rocks, and just play between the trees and the bushes. Maybe Yasnaya might get a little bit lucky, and it may just kind of stick. Yeah,
Sadray's about to take shots. Yeah, they're going to come past his complex, so shots on the 2 Dacias going past. Dacia, Dacia, it depends where you're from. Depends if you watch Top Gear or not, I guess. But no, nothing really landing there, so they are home and dry. Stony Boss got himself... is he in a hut? He's got himself a little hut. Oh, he's in a wizard tower, okay, or Harry Potter, or whatever you prefer to call it. Or mushroom, and some people call it mushroom as well, I know. It really depends, but either way, he's on his own. He's got his bike nicely parked up as well. He hasn't just ditched it, it's nicely parked. He's obviously a neat guy. Let's have a look around. The guys in Rozhok who lost their teammate earlier on, they're still sticking in this 3-story. on the roof, Nubia. And Landum as well. So there's a lot of people basically keep standing the ground at the moment, hoping for a top 10 finish.
So no one towards that Yasnaya side and above Yaz coming down from Stalber, which is pretty standard and default, to be honest. No one really generally goes that high. You do have a little complex up there, which could be prime property should the circle decide to kind of move and land towards the upper left area and keep Yaz in. The interesting teams to watch out for that are going to be arriving to this party. The team now that's focused on Upper Georgia Pole, near the towers, they're going to be absolutely geared out of their mind because they've just done the entirety of Georgia. Look how many houses are over there. They're just going to be able to do whatever they want. I'm seeing a team shooting off, but I don't actually know who they're firing at. I know they're just cracking a few rounds off for the fun of it. I think they are. But yeah, the team up at George are the ones to keep their eye on. They'll be arriving late game. They're going to have a lot of gear with them. We finally got the one team at the bottom. That's going to be Jays for Days and Ex-Luto. They're now coming into the fight as well. They'll be coming across the bridge more than likely, I would suggest. Actually, it's going to be Knights that open up from that complex. They'll find one. You are in trouble. He'll get knocked out of the vehicle. His teammates will opt to just bail out of there. How damaged is that car? It's about 50%, and so are the players also. There's 3 members in there. They do go across the hill and down the defilade, so they're allowed to stay away. However, it's a slim. Thinks, you know what?
Taking shots.
Actually,
taking shots from Stony Boss.
Yeah, you can see the bullets pinging.
Suppressed as well, yeah. Suppressed on the AKM. So a couple of shots. How did he not? Hold on a minute. How did that window not get taken down if he shot through it? How does that work? Just to give a crate update, the one near Ruins, that's got an M24 in it. Nobody's looted that. And there's a Car 98 in the northern one. We obviously you guys watching the camera saw me doing that. No one taking shots on Jays for Days. Look at that. Now they're taking shots, but they're already long gone, so a little late on the shots there. Teammates coming up behind though, so now they know there's people in there. There's Buggy. These are the guys that have been in Georgie Paul, as you mentioned, I think, for a long time. Actually, no, tell a lie. These guys came from Gecko. Are they going to drive a little closer? Okay, now they're going to go hill.
Okay, so now everyone's in the circle. This next one will be, in fact, excuse me, no, the people still in George, they're going for a late loot spree. They're also going to be taking a lot of damage from the blue. All depends how many meds, how many stims they've got, kind of, which obviously will decide for how long they can stay alive. The guys in the God hit spawn at the top, the little, just above rolls, they've taken a lot of shots over of Ex-Luto. They're still getting fired up once again.
Well, they lost the wheel.
He's lost a wheel on the buggy, and he's also lost a teammate. The question is his teammate in enough shrubbery to be revived? He might want to get out of that thing. There we go.
Making a lot of noise with it, yeah. It's about time he finally got out. I keep clicking right click now, and I've discovered the new thing with the spec. I don't want to keep using that. Okay, blue's about to come in. Let's see where the next circle is going to be. They are taking shots, you know, these guys. Quasum.
Yeah, they're still getting drilled.
Trying to get away.
The same place, in fact.
Has Ex-Luto really only got the shotty? Has he not got a better rifle? Oh, he does. He has an M16. Oh, the tier 3 vest on.
But surely.
Cheeky, getting the smokes down, and he's clear. So, Snowflake Jones, his team coming into shooting range. Are they really thinking, let's go loot shooting range after doing Georgia Pole for like an hour?
With the vehicles and where the circle is, I probably say not. I think they're just gonna.
Oh, it would be insane.
Yeah, I think they're either gonna A, avoid the roads, or B, there's a plane up there where you can get out of and just kind of play the extremities. They'll probably wait now and see where the next circle. And look at that, Lee. They've actually been gifted a circle, and now this is across the river. Everybody now has to shift, and this is where all these little towns, all these little mini huts come into play, because you've got a big ridge. Once you go out of Rosok, you go across that bridge, you've just got this anchor point. Now people who have already been sat up there in these little towers, is going to pay dividends for them, because they can try and just rain bullets upon the people. But look at the cars. Here comes a shift. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams all jump in the vehicles. It's time to move. It's time to get central. It's time to get yourself some prime property up there, baby, because this is about to get very, very exciting. 48 players remain, and bullets are already being fired.
Yeah, it's Quasum actually. Jays for Days. They're going to get in towards that central crossroads area. That's going to be the main buildings. A lot of people want to get into Exulto way in the open. He's getting picked off from long range. He will go down in the heat, gain himself a second. He will finish that one off with the Mini 14. So his teammates, they've got in there. And, well, I mean, everybody wants to get in these buildings right now. There's also a small area. Actually, there's another squad coming down. I'll go back to that in a second. It is, and this is what I was talking about this right at the start. Is it going to be this area? Because this is so open. Anyone that has a decent rifle and can hit with a sniper, you're in absolute prime territory if you can get in position early.
The one question that I kind of want to raise is how. I'm going to go and have a look now. I want to know how heavily geared the guys up in Severny are, because Severny can be hit and miss. As soon as I actually go on to Dude Kid, level 3 helmet, level 3 chest, Can anti-A, ACOG. We've got in the back of it, you've got a scar there. I'm seeing extended mag and seeing a compensator. So it looks like if all his teammates are geared exactly the same, let's take a look at his friends. Level 2, silencer on an M16. We've also got an ACOG on that bad boy. One of his teammates again, level 3 vest, level 2 helmet. These guys over in Severny, they are very, very well geared. They're packing some heat, and if anyone wants to try and bring a fight to them, honestly, they're going to accept it, and they're more than likely going to kind of come out on top of this one. But it all depends about this next circle. Everyone's now diving in. There's plenty of places to stay safe. You can kind of play the extremities here. You can play the hillside. You can play the rock side. Wouldn't expect to see many more engagements. I'd more than likely just expect to see kind of get themselves in the circle, get themselves dug in, and then let the next one do the talking, and next one kind of predict where they're going to go.
Stony Boss, the man that was on his own from that military base, got himself in a little building. There's a squad coming towards him. Is he going to do it? No, he's just going to watch him go by. He wants that higher placement finish. cheeky shot in the back. Cheeky shot in the back. All right, he could have took them. That was only a 2-man squad. He could have took them, I reckon. There's
a bloodbath going on at the top. There's a fight for a barnyard. 1, 2, 3, 4 members dead. Can they get their revives, though? They can. That's going to be One Hog and also Charmin as well. They'll get the 2 teammates out, so there was a battle for the barn. These
were the guys that killed Adren in the prison. Charmin Ultra Soft. He's going to get Mickey up. So all 4 of those are alive. iHog, One Hog, Brutal, Bjorn. So they've all survived. Where is the rest of Knights? Knights are actually near the shooting range now, so they've gone all the way over there, ditched the vehicles. So as I was saying, there is a little area which actually they're getting near to. It's kind of like what's the word I'm after? It is kind of like shelter, just a tiny little shelter, isn't it? Which has a really nice bit of cover in that area, and this is looking like where the circle's heading right now.
Yeah, there's a little bunker that obviously looks uphillwards, so I know exactly where you're talking from, where you just kind of move.
Yeah, between shooting range and that crossroads.
Kind of in between them, but I'll tell you what, Knights have actually seen the team that came in from Zaki. Now they know where they are, but look at the circle. The circle's actually landed on the compounds that are down just above Roshawk. So we've got hills in there. We've got several compounds in there. 1, 2, 3. There's still 3 plots available for some prime property. And look at the cars, look at the vehicles. Now everyone's getting geared up. It's time to move. Knights are still having a one-on-one engagement. Windmill's still cracking off. They've got silencers. They've got ACOGs. They've got gear as well. Level 3s, level 2s. More than likely going to have the meds and the stims as well, should they need to. More importantly, where these guys are, they're on the slow side. But there's an issue. If they move down from where they are on the slow side, there's a full squad camped up, dug in, ready to accept the challenge, and they'll just get absolutely slaughtered through the windows.
So this new circle, it's actually worked pretty well. Cloaky's ducking and diving at the moment. Why it's decided to give me a vehicle, I don't know where that's gone. Okay, they've got themselves a UAZ, that's white. Slim, Dre, and Cloaky, they are just on the edge of the circle. So all those guys are in Severny. They need to get moving. Jason for days, etc. There's shots going on in a complex, actually. You were talking about them earlier. It was Charmin Ultra Soft. Those guys, is this their teammates maybe come in? That UAZ is not going to last much longer. Switchblade, Steve, these are the guys that were down in military base. They were the ones that went in, and they're both down. Sea Cucumber finishes them off as well. Tell a lie, he's just taken another days out. There's that. That
just making sure they're dead.
Got a lot of grenades going in there.
Just another
Stony Boss is still alive, by the way. So Slim taking shots. Let's have a look over
Where's he actually coming from?
Slim.
Because he was outside the circle. Now he's just on his own, kind of wandering away. Again, where he's going to come from, there's actually a lot of just hills and rocks and stuff like that. As they move forward, he can lay down on any of these and kind of take cover. All depends if any other players decide they want to kind of be in the same position as him. Again, when we're getting into this circle, every single house is real estate. Every single one of them is a place for a squad to sit. Look at how many's alive. We've still got 40 players alive, and here comes the rotation.
Ooh.
The team playing the outskirts here, moving their way down.
Watch Dre. He's got a squad coming right up on the ridge, and they're coming right at him with the UAZ.
He's chilling.
And this is all Knights. They have this completely set
Yeah,
out.
knocked
Dre
out
just
3.
knocks 3. Dude Kid, the only man standing. Was this the Saverni guys? It was. They're fully geared, but it doesn't matter because Dre just did a 1v4. No problem.
He just absolutely battered them.
There's another squad just to the right of them.
Battered
Jace for
them with
days.
the AKM. My word. What a beast. 4 kills in the bag. And more importantly, an absolute boatload of loot. Look at them. They can just take all of this and they can play right up until the blue.
That was all the level 3 gear, wasn't it? That was the Saverni guys, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's
the
gonna
blue right on
dividends.
them. Now, there's another squad coming in. They're going straight towards Jades for days. That's the guys that did just get a lot of kills. They're going to hop out. Charmin Ultra, Jades for days! Oh, almost did the same as Sir Dre. But Slim just pops that one guy in the back. Bam! All 4 of them dead. That's how it works out. One single shot was all it needed from Slim. And the Knights get themselves another squad.
So the interesting thing about the team that they just killed there, Lee, they realized they got the information because there was 2 fights going off. If you go and have a look at the bodies that they took out, there's actually 2 squads there. If they decide to kind of work their way over to it, if they really wanted to, they don't have the... I mean, actually, they do have the time. They could go over there. They don't realize a vehicle's there. But again, a vehicle at this stage, you don't want to be creating so much noise. There is so much loot. Absolutely so much loot. 4 bodies to kind of take the pickings from. But the problem really now is standing right between them and the circle. They're moving up on a compound, and there's a full team camped down ready to take this fight. This is an interesting one. Should they get lucky and that team think, okay, we need to move as well. We need to get into the circle. Because now they're getting shot from behind. They're actually getting... The squad that's inside that base is getting shot at from the opposing side, dead center of the circle.
And it's going to completely pull their attention, isn't it? It's going to completely pull their attention away and buy them chance to come straight from behind. Now, they're taking the high ground. I'm watching Slim as they try and set themselves up. He is fully geared. Tier 3 everything.
He's also pre-stimming as well. So they're just getting the pre-stim here. They're ready to run.
Oh, they're running straight into a squad, though. It's Richard Sharp. Let's have a look at Richard Sharp. He was looking out of that window. His teammates took shots.
Cloaks, he's just took a bullet. He's going to lay down, get behind that tree and get your health back.
It's Natas. Natas taking the shots.
He's going to get some support here. They will back off kind of beside the trees if he does need to kind of draw some attention to him. He's got a scar and a comp. And again, he has this level 3 helmet, so he can do a little bit more peeking than what his teammates can. He's very aware.
There's also shots down in the square itself. There's another squad moving in on Kipper. Kipper is taking the shots.
Oh, they're getting pinned so bad. Here comes the crunch. They're moving down. One team looks up to him. One team looks to the left, and that's going to be the compound. Dre just sees 2 of his comrades just hit the floor. Is he going to stand his ground? He'll probably just have to absolutely heal the living hell out of this. It's going to chunk his health so bad. He's going to pause off for a second and use a first aid. Wait for all the rest of the players just to start running away. He's pretty... In fact, he's going to go to his
crossfire. There's a crossfire going on. Yeah, that's team that just took him out. They're getting lit up by another team, and that team's just got lit up. I would say about 20 people just died all at once.
Oh, wow. Dre was literally millimeters away from getting off the first aid. He was going to try and heal through for an extra position, but unfortunately a bullet came through, found its target. Now we see the compound fights going down. Here come the engagements. Rifts down below. He's going to try and throw a grenade. Actually, 2 of them. They're going to grenade out this building. Will they find any markers whatsoever? The players upstairs, they hit the bottom floor. They don't realize they're actually up above them. The main problem for these is...
Nobody's looking at the door. Nobody's looking at the door. Nobody's checking it. Kipper's finally turned around. Finally backed away. Nobody was checking the stairs door there. They could have just ran in and completely caught them all off guard. They dropped down.
Is he going to flank him? I actually think he is. He's dropped down on purpose, looks through the window. Doesn't initially catch the guy, but he's got to be careful. Wrist to his left-hand side. Unfortunately, that he didn't play his way. His teammate comes down as well. He gets slapped. That's not good. That was poor execution. Now, unless his teammates can actually do something to save his life.
They're trying to back around. Windmill Bill actually in the distance is watching this all play out, so he's on his own. They're gonna get Teflon maybe back up, but that building is completely lost. Like you say, that was poor execution. And the squad that came in, they were just very much ready for that. Now, the question is, are they going to clear them out? They know that they're in the building next door. In the heat, pops around the corner. He gets ripped down. Now, he will finish him off this time. Won't make the mistake they did. Caleb, I don't think they're going to push out. I think they're happy to hold the building. They're in a much better position. 14 alive, as there's more battles going on. But this is the prime one, because it's the prime compound now that's left in the circle.
Yep, you can see here comes the crunch. The rotations are coming in. We're going in from the north. We're coming in from the east. 2 players left outside of the zone now. On the top, one will fall. That's actually going to be Monstra.
Windmill Bill, can he live? Look at him just on the little flank. He's all on his own.
Oh man, this is so dangerous. And they're actually keeping the players alive, which is rather impressive. They're working together. Zek, Giraffe, and Caleb. They do have a beast mode of a building. In fact, it's actually going to be dead center and open. And the people who are in the best kind of position right now are the guys that are just taking that black, the kind of the dark area at the back there. On the back, you can see the shadows. They can just kind of hide on those rocks.
Typical. I moved away just to check the other battles. Basically, there's 2 battles going on now. You got Rich, Jimmer TV, Landum over the side, and you got these guys fighting out in this complex here. Sadly, Windmill Bill did get taken down, but In the Heat was dropped in the process. Now, they're about to push out the building. Jabroni's going to peek. Zek's there. They have the backup of Giraffe. Caleb's also going to push. He's got a nade in hand. The nade gets tossed out.
Has he cooked that?
He had a nade in hand. Where's he going to go? No, just off in the fence. And they are going to get cleared out. Yeah, that was close, yeah. So, they've got the complex. Now they have to quickly spin around because Jimmer TV, Landum, and Geist off the side here. Rich and Skeptical off on the other side. They are the 3 squads left.
And we need to appreciate exactly what they've done. They took the Dacia. They've moved into the ridge here. They've parked the Dacia on purpose, perpendicular to them. He's probably just going to move it back a little bit more. There you go. And now he gives himself some cover. It's just on the verge. So they've got to be careful. Rich, PBZ, and Skeptical. They have to move. But they've got plenty of cover to do so. Prime position right now, though, is definitely without question Jeese, Lando, and Jimmy. Let's see how this one goes down. Giraffe, Caleb, and the Zek. They need to try and kill as many people as possible because they also need to run towards the center. Skeptical's just going to try and heal through. Unfortunately, the blue's going to do its damage. You're going to fall, my friend. Rich is just crawling away. He's hiding down in the brush. See you later, my friend. We're down to a 3-on-3.
So these guys have both had a battle, separate battles from each other. I don't know where the camera's just decided to take me. I'll get back to Giraffe because he's the one that's taking the shots. So I want to go free cam here because they're just about holding this building, but they have this van, don't they, which is perfect cover for them, whereas they have an absolute perfect ledge with trees.
So the only
circle is kind of like there's nothing left in the circle. They've both got to make the same push. It's going to be basically the guns at dawn run at each other.
It also depends kind of who's rocking the meds, who can get stimmed up to the max here. Lando's making quite an aggressive push. One will fall. That's going to be Giraffe. He gets hit by the mini. Grenade goes down. In fact, that's actually going to be Smoke. So now they can block the views and move up. Look at Lando. Look at how aggressive he is. He's overextending. He wants a piece of this action. He's moving up. He's got the M4. Full sprayed hour coming. Goes around the corner. Finds one. Finds two. Finds a third. Absolutely belting work from Lando, who just pushed the aggression there. Got the M4. Got it on 4 and just mowed them down. Fantastic work. Put the smoke in. Block the line of sight from the players so they had no idea where it's coming from. Laid down for a second. Whitlet went off. Perfect execution.
Yeah, really nice. Ballsy play, put the smokes down, but in the end, that's the time to go aggressive, wasn't it? They realised the other team were kind of camping it up a little bit. But really, an explosive ending, I think you could say there. That's something we found so far is you do tend to have 40, 45 people alive, and suddenly it drops to 20 in a matter of seconds when it gets just to that one crunch point. We saw it, unfortunately, obviously Slim, Dre, and Cloaksy, which was the Knights, they were in such a great position, and then the circle kind of backfired on them. They had to move, and they had to push upon not one, but 2 complexes that were covered. They went one way, okay, let's go the other way. Oh, God, that's also covered, and it just worked against them. But you've got to give credit to the winners. I'm just going to try and find out what their team name is.
Wild Card Gaming, just taking a look now. in the previous round that didn't... I don't think they actually got any kills in the previous one, but now they've bagged themselves 11. So pretty good work from them. That will definitely jump them up the leaderboards. It all depends where everyone else kind of ended. It's very different compared to the previous game. I'm even looking at Knights, who were actually sat there in 3rd position.
Yeah, they only got an 8th though, whereas Insomnia, who just got 2nd now, they were 8th in the previous round with 2 kills, so they got themselves, what, 4 kills in this game? Not a high kill score by any of the squads, honestly, not a massively dominant performance, which we have seen from some of the teams, but overall, a decent finish, I think, safe to say. So, Rich, we're going to move on, because obviously the games are going to continue rolling throughout the night, and on to match 3 of group round 1. Obviously, this is the groups 1 to 8, and then obviously we'll be moving on to then group 9 to 16. So if you're not seeing your favourite team, apologies. You know, there's a lot of teams out there to cover, 320 teams in total. So we've got a lot of work to do. We'll be back after this break, guys. Do not go anywhere.